The program you're about to see is provided as a service of the Sheriff's Office of the County of Delaware for the citizens of the county. As such, the county makes no representation as to the suitability of this information for the particular purpose. To that extent, if you use or implement this information in your own setting, you do so at your own risk. The information provided during the TV show is solely for your own use and cannot be sold. In no event will the County of Delaware be liable for any damage, whether direct, consequential, incidental, or its use, or the inability to use the information provided by the TV program.
Hello and welcome to Delaware County's Most Wanted. I'm Chief Deputy Joseph Blackburn, along with Sergeant Deb Oberg, and we're happy you could join us for this installment of Delaware County's Most Wanted. Throughout the program, we'll be showing you groups of fugitives wanted in Delaware County and asking for your help. If you have any information on any of the fugitives you see on this show, please call 1-877-R-WANTED. That's 1-877-R-WANTED, or go to our website, delcomostwanted.com.
Chief, I want to remind our viewers never to try to apprehend any of the individuals seen on this show or any of our shows. Call 911 or our tip line if you have seen or know the whereabouts of anyone featured in any of the Delaware County's Most Wanted shows.
We're going to hear from Sheriff Joe McGinn. He had the opportunity to interview Sheriff Richard Stanek of Hennepin County, Minnesota. Sheriff Stanek was a keynote speaker for the Emergency Management Conference at Delaware County Community College. He shared his firsthand experience of the aftermath of the I-35 sudden bridge collapse.
Besides seeing Sheriff McGinn interview Sheriff Stanek, we will also have the crazy criminal in the citizen spotlight.
So let's get underway with Delaware County's Most Wanted.
Delaware County's Most Wanted. Derek Bird, wanted for failure to pay child support in excess of $100,000. Learn more in the upcoming fugitive profile later in this program. Paul Hamilton, born in 1972. Last known address, Widener Street, Philadelphia. Wanted for failure to pay child support. Total arrears $32,000. Liza Syracuse, born in 1965. Last known address, Main Street, Darby. Wanted for failure to pay child support in the amount of $1,800. Kenneth Blackwell, born in 1967. Last known address, 21st Street, Chester. Wanted for failure to pay child support. Total arrears $58,000. William Boban, born in 1968. Last known address, Cochranville, PA. Wanted for failure to pay child support in the amount of $24,000. Vaughn Dean, born in 1967. Last known address, 7th Street, Chester. Wanted for failure to pay child support. Total arrears $18,000. To make anonymous reports or for more information, call 1-877-R-WANTED or visit delcomostwanted.com.
Over 57,000 members tell us we offer the best products, rates, and services in the communities we serve. We are recognized by local businesses for giving back to the community for almost 40 years. And we were recognized nationally as Federal Credit Union of the Year. Stop by any branch to find out how easy it is to join Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union. And be sure to ask about our Super Saver savings account.
Welcome to the Sheriff's Corner. With me today is Sheriff Richard Stanek, Chief Law Enforcement Officer of Hennepin County, Minnesota. Hennepin County is the largest populated county in the state of Minnesota with over 1.1 million residents. Sheriff, welcome. And can you share a little bit of your background with us?
Sure. Well, Sheriff, I've been a law enforcement officer for 26 years, primarily working with the Minneapolis Police Department. Secondly, I had a chance to work with the governor of Minnesota as his Commissioner of Public Safety and Director of Homeland Security for several years. And this is my first term as an elected sheriff in the state of Minnesota.
Well, welcome. Sheriff Stanek is partnering with the Delaware County Community College's Institute in Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness, and he's the keynote speaker for the Institute's seminar. His topic today is the I-35 bridge collapse. Sheriff, as chairman of the board, I know that emergency preparedness is an important characteristic in handling disasters. And what I would like to do is have you share some of your experiences in dealing with the disaster with our viewers today. So just to get an idea of some perspective that we can relate to here in Delaware County, I'd just like to get an idea of how many law enforcement agencies are in Hennepin County.
Sure. Well, Sheriff, Hennepin County is comprised of about 1.3 million residents, 47 different municipalities, and 37 local police departments. We're the largest sheriff's office in Minnesota and in the upper Midwest. Having said that, though, we work hand in hand every day with our local law enforcement agencies and firefighters, emergency medical service providers, to provide public safety countywide.
And in 2007, prior to the bridge collapse, the theme of Homeland Security then was more of the prevention mode. So prior to the collapse itself, did you ever consider the I-35 bridge as being a possible terrorist target?
You know, post 9/11 in this country and in Minnesota, we did do critical infrastructure assessments, and the I-35 bridge is one of the main thoroughfares in and out of the city of Minneapolis and throughout Minnesota, certainly was assessed. But I could never imagine or fathom that the I-35 bridge would one day collapse at 6:05 p.m. on a hot August evening in Minnesota with the catastrophe that surrounded it and the tragic circumstances. It just was beyond, I think, our comprehension at the time. I know better now, though.
Yeah, what a day, what a way to end such a beautiful day that was actually having in Minnesota at that time. And with so many different first responding agencies that were actually dealing with the disaster, how well did the NIMS program actually work in your opinion?
Well, Sheriff, this is one of the areas I want to applaud your leadership in Delaware County Community College. Truly, getting folks together like you are today for this conference, this seminar, bringing them together to understand that things like an I-35 bridge collapse do happen in our communities. And I told you this earlier that as sheriffs, we know each and every day across this country there are disasters like this that happen, unfortunately, and first responders are there. We have to respond. People are leaving the scene. We're coming to the scene. Our job is to mitigate and manage it the best we can with the resources we have. And those resources, quite honestly, are usually the personnel, our fine trained men and women who work for us, as well as our wisdom and experience. But we rely on our training first and foremost.
And it's amazing when a disaster like that happens, how well everybody responds to it and wants to just put everything forward and get the job done. Was that your experience there?
Yes. I mean, truly, there were very much unsung heroes out of this. Minneapolis police officers, firefighters, doctors, nurses, paramedics. You can imagine with over 150 people who were critically injured, 13 people lost their lives. The scene that evening, like I said, a beautiful, hot Minnesota evening, and the chaos that surrounded it. Not a chaos, had to come something good. You had to be able to manage that chaos. You had to be able to coordinate your resources, organize your personnel for what was initially rescue efforts, quickly turning to recovery efforts. And you and I both know, Sheriff, that when a rescue turns to recovery, that doesn't always have a good connotation, but nonetheless, it happens. And then you begin working with the families and victims, the media, the public, everybody who have questions about what happened or why it happened and what are you going to do to prevent it from happening again.
Now, when the incident did happen, were there a lot of people from the private sector? Did I hear you say nurses and doctors that actually came up and tried to volunteer? How did you sort of like challenge or channel that into the right direction?